Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everybody. It is Monday the 18th of March and I'm actually here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm doing the best that I can to have found a place which is private and well, not really that quiet, but it's going to have to do for this week's Monday Mantra. Remember, if you're listening to this on the Beacon app, if you are on YouTube, if you are on Spotify, please don't forget to like, tag, subscribe, share, let people know that this app exists. You know, I keep the payment gateway off the app stores so that I can keep it at a very nominal fee of $60 per year, but this means that I need your help to get the word out there, as I need volume, because otherwise I would have to be like other apps and charge about $20 to $25 per month because the app platforms take such a big percentage. Good morning. So it's so nice to be recording from somewhere different for a change. It's been a while since I've traveled internationally into the States. I've got a lot to tell you, but I'm going to do my best to tell you what we need to know for this week's Monday Mantra as well as the recap for last week. Okay, last week I set the Monday Mantra as I follow through with my word as it is an active prayer for my future. I follow through with my word as it is an active prayer for my future. So we had Mahashivaratri last week, which I talked to you about. You know, he's the destroyer, he's the creator of the universe, and that new moon energy was still lingering in the first part of the week. Now, I left in the first part of last week to come to the States and had just the most interesting journey. So I've got my best friend has traveled with me to America, and now she lives outside of Auckland where I live in New Zealand, and we were meant to meet at 5:15 p.m. at the Auckland International Airport. But what actually happened was she got stuck in major delay. So what would normally be an hour and a half travel, it ended up being 4 hours. Now, when she messaged me to say that it's just traffic's just not moving, 5 minutes after that, I get a text from Air New Zealand, the airline we were flying, to say your flight's been delayed. So I messaged her saying, "Oh my God, this is like a blessing. The flight's been delayed." Anyway, I go to the airport. She still hasn't come yet because she's stuck in traffic. And I speak to the ground staff, and they said, look, she has to be here by 7:30. Now, the plane originally was meant to leave at 8:15 p.m., but it was moved to 9:30 p.m. And she only managed to get to the airport at 7:15 p.m., right before the check-in doors were closing. So we got on the flight. Now, the interesting synchronicities were, I had no anxiety about this at all. Spirit was making me feel very calm. So I knew she would make it. I logically had other plans in my head. But this is part of the energy, is that, you know, I follow through with my word. I was calm inside and I said to her, I don't feel anxious about this. You know, it's showing me that the universe is supporting us because the flight is delayed. We have time. I've spoken to the lady. I've got a plan B. I knew we didn't need the plan B, but it was there. We go through all of your, security checks and things, and then there's a whole group of monks there. And the monks are just like right in front of me. And I was thinking, this is another sign. Everything is working out. We get on the plane. We had to sit separately because the plane was so full and because of the delayed arrival for her. We sat separately, and then I went to see what movies were playing, and there was a movie called Past Lives, and I was thinking, that was the first thing my eyes saw. And when I watched it, it's a Korean film, and it's a little bit slow moving, but the concept of it is all about meeting people and being connected to people that we've had relationships with in our lifetimes before, which is what is interesting for me, because I'm here in the United States for business, but also a little bit of pleasure because my friend decided to come in and be a companion for me here, and so we can have a nice time. And why I was telling you this, it's an interesting story, but it's also because I remained calm and I followed through with that. I wasn't panicking. Now, what can happen sometimes is that even though we know everything's okay, our brain can overstimulate ourselves with all the worst case scenarios, but following through with your word is not just the words that you're saying, it's the words that you're thinking, it's the words that are your codes inside of your body. So we could have created that situation or destroyed a situation, but everything happened perfectly. We have been uncovering ourselves in terms of the gifts and messages that we have. Obviously, I'm in a different environment and I'm seeing different things playing out. And when I said you're being called to act, I was really being called to act this week. And I'm not talking about acting as in pretending to be someone else. I'm talking about taking action. I have been put in circumstances which have been absolutely amazing, but it's been called for more of myself. Clear boundaries set around people and expectations. There have been conversations that have come up around people's assumptions about me. This is really interesting. You know, we all think that we present ourselves in a certain way where people will be like, oh no, I know what she's like, or I know what they're like, or, you know, would people really think that about me? People look at you through the lens that they want to see and what they know from their life experiences. So now when I look back and think about clear boundaries set around people's expectations, getting in the way of being able to shine and be yourself, for me that experience was people who had thought that I was going to be like everybody else, then realizing that actually we all have a gift. I have a gift to be able to share things from my perspective, and we all just don't know everything, and to give people a chance to be able to be themselves and speak and say what they think, because you might actually learn something. Every word you say, write, and think is a prayer. Use all words as adjectives. I said that because we want to act on the word. So acting in alignment of what we're thinking. If it's positive, this is why we have to be conscious about what are we saying, what are we thinking, because we're vibrational creatures. So if we are vibrating out in the universe something that we don't want, you're bound to attract that. You will reveal your abilities and strength. It's been so nice to have people around me like my best friend and my publicist and other people witnessing what we're doing here and what's been happening, because it's really given me more, not courage, I'm courageous, but more validation in what I'm doing, more validation in the acknowledgement from spirit that this is where you need to be right now. All means of communication will be affirmations of your story, so be mindful. Say what you mean so there is no other interpretation to be made. Okay, I've been mostly in LA. I've had to go to Colorado also for a meeting. And this is the synchronicity. There were threats of a snowstorm, and we were in communication with the people that we had to have a meeting with, and they were warning us, you know, might have to delay travel, might not be able to make it, might not be able to get home. Anyway, I tuned in and I knew that everything was going to be okay. We got to Colorado just fine, no snow. We got to have the meeting, that was fine. And the night of when the meeting was over, everyone's like, the snow's coming, you know, there's going to be cancellations, going to be delays. I felt absolutely calm, but the logical mind was thinking, okay, what could be solutions if this is the case? Because there's other things that we needed to do. Anyway, I'm looking out the window and it starts snowing. And it starts snowing like really, like Santa is coming snowing. And the next morning, snowing. But all 40% of the flights were cancelled. Ours wasn't. We had another situation where my publicist left her laptop at the hotel, which was about an hour away from where we were. She had to go back. She made it on the plane in the end because we had to leave early because there were snow plows in front of us. I'll slowly share things on social media to show you this whole adventure. But it just goes to show remaining calm inside, but then also using logical thinking. So my intuition was going, everything is fine, but my logical thinking was going, okay, if anything happens, this is what it's for. It'll be preparing us for something. It will be helping us with something. Because everything this week, there has been funny delays, but it's all been helping us. It's been helping us get to where we need to be and learn what we need to learn. Collaboration comes in this week as an extension of the week before's energy. So meaningful interactions, which I've really had this week. So have you had meaningful interactions with anybody, with anything, with spirit? As you collaborate, remember it's a team effort. What you are working towards as a whole, is it a clear path forward? Are you being understood? Do you understand? There has been a lot of that usually I work alone, but I have my team that's around me that does all the things that they specialize in. But this time I've been surrounded by a team. What was so amazing is that my partner had to fly into LA too for work, and he was going somewhere else. But we managed to see each other, which was amazing. And so he got to meet the rest of the team that I work with here in the United States as well. So it was all a meaningful interaction, and it was like, oh, everyone gets to meet who's important to who. The whole month of March is about reclaiming power, and it's also International Women's Month as well, so that divine energy of the feminine goddess energy is coming in too. But we can't do that without Shiva, which is the masculine energy. We need that support. And this can mean the birth of something new to discover that power or in the face of adversity. So whenever there are adverse things happening, we can often feel like victims. It's natural. We're all humans. We all fall into that category sometimes. But we also know that when we've been through something, there is this power to know that, hey, I can do that. I went through that. There are responsibilities or consequences to what you put out in the universe. People are going to need you, want to learn from you, want to help, and you need to be ready in this position that you say you will assist them with. So when we say something, we have to deliver in some way. And this is going to be an energy that's going to come up later in the year. And I'll talk to you about it at that time. But it's like, are you loyal? Are you following through? For me, lots of seeds have been planted, and I've come here to follow through with my commitments. And so now from the commitments, there are other things that are coming up that I'm going to need to follow through on. And then I put here, long-term commitment is being required as future progress is being made and addressed now. Transformation is taking place. It may seem under the surface, but as you weigh up options, a ripple effect is being created. Your future rides on how you can help others and your ability to follow through like a breaking wave. We're following through. This is really important. The wave needs to break, to retract again, and then drive forward. It's like through the break, through something breaking, there's a drive and a pull backwards and then a push forward again. Really interesting analogies for you to think about. As we moved through the week, we had the Masters card come up, 33, which is the 33 card in the digital Oracle deck on the app. And we're being divinely supported, and what we say will bring in the manifestation of what we want. Remember the saying, be careful of what you wish for. This is the wonderful power of miracles, but also makes us responsible for what we want, as you have the power to change and direct your life. The Masters also acknowledge the third month and the power of three, past, present, and future. Nothing is coincidental with this card coming up. It's our power resurrecting, being reclaimed, just as Jesus had that power, which is the whole theme of this month. This card comes up to remind you that you are in the seat of power and receiving power divinely, and you don't need to over-plan for the direction. You will flow through. It will flow through you without force. Just act on what you said you would do. Leave the rest up to the universe. See everything as a conscious prayer and be open to transformation. Big energy, and with me being here for Soul 33 reasons, the 33 card coming up, I know that we are divinely being guided. Is your ego telling you or that you can or you can't? We need to have interaction to grow in our courage. We learn by doing and following through with our intentions. Really important that when we interact with people, that we give them the opportunity to speak and to share, holding space for one another, helping validate one another. This is the interactions that I've been having, even with my friend here with me. After I finish, I'm a human being doing what I need to do. How do you think that went? Because, she's sitting there and watching. It's been really great to have those powerful interactions. Your words are not only what you say about yourself, they are also what you say and think about others. It's all a prayer for your future. Pure intentions and speaking the best about people is also a prayer for your future. Okay. Because I've heard so many words this week, and because, I've been looking at how I've been feeling and thinking, I have had all kinds of words towards me. Praise, criticism which I was not meant to hear but heard anyway, resentment, encouragement, and even threats. Now, this is just my observation, so please no one be offended by this, but the homelessness situation in LA is quite significant. And we have been verbally threatened by a couple of homeless people just as we're walking by and things like that. And obviously the people that were doing this have mental illness, and it's very, very sad. But it's really interesting because the things that they were saying, and I applied the Monday mantra, are reflections of what their feelings of unsafety are, and feeling threatened and feeling scared. Therefore, people act in ways, unless you're really conscious, ways that they've been treated. And so I was thinking, gosh, if you're saying words like this to somebody you don't even know, and that is not doing anything, we're just walking past, it is a reflection, even though it's mental illness, that's coming from a place of fear, that's coming from a place of victims, coming from a place of anger. And we are creating our future based on what we are saying and thinking. And when we judge other people and say things about them that isn't positive, it's a deficit to who we are becoming for our future. Okay, remember, I'm always here for you, but I'm only one person doing this work, so I'm doing my very, very best to see people as and when I can. I'm not booking out a whole lot in advance because I'm seeing how I feel, and then I let Kieran know to open more sessions up. So the divine timing will happen for your appointment. You have to trust that, because sessions can't be rushed for me in terms of spirits planning something. There's something more that needs to occur, but going on a wait list is going to be your best bet, because when the timing is right, Kieran will let you know. But personalized meditations and mini readings are the best way, and also being here on the app, because you know that it's me doing this every week to help support your soul progression. Kieran is the person to email, soul33@gmail.com. Now, if you're needing any help with app renewal or any IT issues, please don't stay silent. Email her so that she can contact IT and resolve it for you, because we're not mind readers. We need to know what's going on. This week's energy. Okay. Instability leads to a stronger foundation. You're beginning to move from a place of scarcity to abundance, and that segue is the part that is stabilizing you. So that segue is the part where, oh my gosh, I feel unstable, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's the bridge. So the bridge is the unstable part. Be at peace with yourself. Give yourself space, knowing that this is a job well done. And now you're leaving it up for the divine to develop the rest for you. The Monday mantra is actually, instability is a segue for an upgrade creating stability. Instability is a segue for an upgrade creating stability. So when I say the divine is going to develop the rest for you, is the universe is going to provide. These are the words that Spirit gave me, so we're using those. So be at peace with where you're at. Give yourself the space, knowing that you've done a good job. So you need to really tune into that. Good job doing what? Good job looking after your family. Good job with your business. You've done all that you can. What is it for you? Because everyone's going to be different, and we're leaving the rest up to the divine. We've got a full moon this week, and we've also got the equinox. So it can be destabilizing with emotions coming up that need to be voiced and acknowledged. Maybe voiced just to yourself in acknowledgement, voiced to somebody else, written, journal, burnt, whatever you need to do. This is going to be restoring balance in your heart. Now, around the equinox, I can always have lots of heart transmission stuff going on. Whether you feel them or not, it is happening. So this is why we've got homework to support that. Some parts of your life this week may feel a bit repetitive, that feeling of, what am I doing here? This again? And this is also part of you acknowledging, is this where I want to be? Is this instability? Is this a segue for more of an upgrade to create stability? These are things for you to think about. It's about instability to stability. If you're needing to feel more loved, ensure you express that and speak from a place of heart knowing. Explain why you feel that way, But first you need to be clear on why. Why do I feel this way? Really acknowledge that, what you're needing before you express yourself, because it might not even be about the other person. It might be something that you need to change, which for me, I find is usually the case. It's something to do with me. There are portals opening up. A few nights ago, I had very, very deep, intense meditation, and Spirit was opening up a lot of portals, which means that we are upgrading. We're upgrading our energy systems. Your true answers are within your body. Upgrades both spiritually and physically tend to happen around this time, and going within will help you realize what they are. As the time progresses, you will see what they are for. Pay attention to what is going on in your body. Pay attention to your crown chakra, your third eye, your heart chakra, even the lower chakras. But those may be aches and pains because a bit of destabilization as the segue. Take time to retreat and connect with what is being implemented. Now, I'm not talking about your physical implementation. I'm talking about paying attention to what is spiritually being implemented, what you've put out into the universe last week as prayers for your future. All of that is being implemented. Goddess Aphrodite is also being celebrated on the 18th this week, and she brings in the energy of fertility, of love, of growth of things. Obviously the opposite side of things as well, because it is full moon, so we may be triggered by things that need to come back to that place of love. So Spirit said, allow love and self-love into your life and release scarcity from your life as we move through this time of new beginnings from a big release this week. Like for me, after a big week here or so, it's like coming back down to, grounded, being me, and that's going to take some time because I'll probably feel unstable for a while. There is magic in the air this week as you are asked to embrace the spaces within the peaceful moments to find love and reconnect with a lover or yourself. Now we're going to just take a moment. Last week it didn't come out naturally, so we didn't take a moment, but today we're going to take a moment. And we are going to connect your root chakra down into earth, and we're going to open up your heart and allow any instability to be released into Mother Earth now, but to open up your heart as the bridge of stability to bring you to where you need to be to have a solid foundation. That's all we want, right? We want a foundation that we always know that no matter what happens in life, we can come back to that foundation. A lot to think about this week, a lot to process energetically. I'm here if you need me. Personalized meditations, mini readings. Join the wait list and be patient, because as you all know, it's always the right time. Those of you who've seen me before, you'll find me when you need to. Spirit will guide you to me when you need that. Your Monday mantra is, instability is a segue for an upgrade, creating stability. Instability is a segue for an upgrade, creating stability. I'll be in touch with you soon. Take care.